Good afternoon, Facebook friends and followers. I am so happy to be able to join you again as your host for today's Fridays with Friends. My name is Marta Estevez, and I'm the senior attorney at Coast to Coast Legal Aid's Family and Domestic Violence Unit. I am going to have the opportunity and pleasure to introduce you to a very special friend for today's Facebook Friday with Friends. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about the reason for today's Friday with Friends. This year marks the 40th anniversary of National Crime Victims Awareness Week, which will be commemorated from Monday, the 18th until the 24th. According to the most recent National Crime Victimization Survey, 1.2 million people were victims of violent crime, not including simple assault, in the year 2019. It's a decrease from the year before, but still a statistic that none of us should have to read. As a community, now is the time to come together so that victimization continues to decline and fewer of our friends, family members, neighbors, and coworkers become crime. Quite fittingly enough, this year's National Crime Victims' Rights Week theme is Support Victims, Build Trust, and Engage Communities. To commemorate this week, the Broward Victims' Rights Coalition is hosting several events to raise awareness about crime victims' issues and rights, and to introduce the community to important resources and services. I am once again very honored to have my friend and colleague, President of the BVRC, Ms. Bridget Schneiderman, here with us. Bridget is here to tell us some of the events that the Broward Victims' Rights Coalition is planning for the week of National Crime Victims' Rights. Bridget, thank you for coming on today again, and I am so looking forward to the information you have to share with us.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it, Marta. As Marta said, I'm Bridget Schneiderman Tuttle. I'm the president of the Broward Victims' Rights Coalition, and I'm really excited to be able to bring some information to you about some of the events we're having this week coming up. National Crime Victims' Rights Week, as Marta said, started 40 years ago, and that really marked this idea that we raise awareness about crime victimization. We make sure the community knows rights of victims and survivors, and we really come together to support and honor what they've been through and where we've come. So every year we plan events to commemorate this time and really try to further raise awareness in the community. Because of COVID, we've had to change some of our events, but we're very excited that we're still able to bring those events to you, just maybe in a little bit different of a style. So our first event is going to be held on April 21st at 6 o'clock. Typically, we have a crime victim vigil. This is actually, I think, one of our most powerful events that we have every year. And this is a time where we really honor and we dedicate to crime victim survivors and their families. Normally, we have this event out at Long Key Nature Center in Davie. It's a natural center where we have this, what we call a garden, but really is a monument that every year survivors or family members that request it, we will engrave their name on this wall and really honor them as part of that vigil, but it's also a vigil for all crime victims and survivors in Broward County. We also have agencies that choose to do a dedication in support of crime victims and survivors, and through the years, we've been very lucky to have several law enforcement agencies, several nonprofits such as Coast to Coast Legal Aid, as well as other nonprofits to dedicate quotes and sayings that really support crime victims and survivors. So this year, what we're doing is to protect the community, but still be able to have this event. We're holding it virtually for the first time, so wish us luck because it's our first time with technology and a visual, but Margate Police Department has been instrumental in helping us to put this together, and we're very appreciative of that. So it will be held on our Facebook, and we'll send the link to Coast Legal Aid so that they can promote that as well. It's going to be held at 6 o'clock. A lot of the elements will be the same. We have some survivors who were so gracious to participate and talk during this video, as well as this year, Plantation Police Department has dedicated an engraving. So as we always do when an agency dedicates engraving, we'll have the chief from Plantation Police Department speak at that event. So even though it's virtual, we have just a lot of meaningful aspects to it. It's going to be very powerful. And this is a great way, if you've never come, it's a great way to take a few minutes and really sit down and have an understanding for what it means, what crime victimization means and how it impacts our community. We also every year we do an awards, some type of awards program. And what that's geared at doing is really honoring those who serve crime victims and survivors in the county, because we want to point out, we want to highlight those who are doing really great jobs and great work, and raise the standard in what we do in the community and say, hey, this is what we all should be doing. This is how we should serve crime victims and survivors. So normally we hold that an awards ceremony during a luncheon we have after our annual training. Again, because of COVID, we're not able to do that. So we will be honoring all recipients through Facebook. So stay tuned for that. So you can really honor them with us. What we'll be doing is getting their plaques out, and the nominee will be engaging in that. And then on April 23rd, so another thing we do is we raise awareness in the community, and that's why we're very excited to be here today. Any chance we get to really kind of spread the word. We think that's important for everybody understanding that even if you've never been a crime victim, it impacts you, it impacts our community, and we really need to be empathetic to what anybody goes through with that. So we do raise part of raising awareness is also serving as technical support in the community and providing trainings for professionals who work with crime victims. So this year, we're very excited to partner with the Office of Victims of Crime, TTAC, and bringing the community a training on working with family members of homicide victims. This will be held on April 23rd. It is a free training. And already we have a plethora of registrants, and just really not even within Broward County, but we had outreach from outside of the county. So we're really excited to be giving you this training as well. So, again, you can see we have, even though there were some limitations with COVID, we really were able to come together and still what we believe are very meaningful and impactful events to honor that week. And we really hope to see you. Well, I won't see you, but we hope that you choose to just take a few minutes on the 21st and log in at 6 o'clock and really just come together, because I promise you that it will be a very powerful event. It will be worth your time. So thank you again for having us. We always like coming on here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I want to echo to all of you watching the impact that our Crime Victim Vigil does have on the community. It is an amazing event. We're going to link the Crime Victim Vigil flyer down in our comments below. We'll drop that in a few minutes. For those of you who don't know about the Garden of Reflection, a place for remembrance, I will also encourage you to look at the Broward Victims' Rights Coalition page. It's www.browardvictimsrights.org. And on there, you'll see a list of services that we can offer, what the BVRC does for the community. If you are a victim of crime or know someone who is and have an interest in having their name engraved at the garden, there is also an application that could be found there, or resources to link you to one of the BVRC members. As always, I welcome you all as part of our audience here at Coast to Coast Legal Aid to also follow the Broward Victims' Rights Coalition on Facebook. I'm really excited that throughout the week, we're going to be showcasing some of the winners of the awards for National Crime Victims' Rights Week. You're going to see that in our Broward County community, we are blessed to have a number of good, hardworking people who are really championing for crime victims. Bridget herself is a tireless advocate on behalf of crime victims. She is an amazing worker. She's an amazing president for the BVRC. She's really trying to lead us forward to help crime victims, to empower them, to show the community that we are a good resource, that we're a valid resource, and that we're a very worthy resource for the community. So please like us on Facebook, like the BVRC, follow us and attend our events. It would be a pleasure to see you all out there. Ms. Bridget, thank you again for joining. You know, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And stay tuned for next Facebook Friday with Friends. We'll have some more good stuff coming your way. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.